Hello student, welcome to FYBSc Microbiology course. Today we are going to discuss about the syllabus of microbiology. The title of the course is BSc Microbiology. Now the preface. So what is the microbiology? It is a broad discipline of biology and it mainly consists of study of five groups of microorganisms: bacteria, protozoa, algae, fungi, viruses. So, in the case of the microbiology, within the microbiology, we study the interaction of this microorganism with their environment as well as how this organism they hardens in the human endeavor and their impact on the society. So, this study is not related with the microbiology and their interaction with the environment and their impact on the human life, but this study can be taken to advanced field of the biology because we can use this microorganism as a study model. So, this microbiology is a branch of science and it is remain as ever expanding field in the research and it can be categorized as pure and applied science. These microorganisms were discovered over 350 years ago and it is thought that they have a huge diversity which is yet to be explored. So, by having a knowledge of different aspects of this microbiology is necessary or crucial and indispensable or useful to the society because microorganisms they play important part as a education and human progresses. So there will be a continuous demand for the microbiologists as workforce in the education, in industry and various research area. So career opportunities for the graduate students they are available in industry and research equally. Now what are the objectives of this course? First is to enrich students' knowledge and train them in the pure microbial sciences. The second objective of the course is to introduce the concepts of application and research in the microbiology. Third objective is to inculcate sense of scientific responsibilities and social and environment awareness. And the last stage or objective of this course is to help the students to build up a progressive and successful career. So, FY BSc Microbiology course, now this is your first semester. So, these are the paper code. Now, for the phase total, there will be three papers, okay? And the paper code for the first paper is MB111 and the title of the paper is Introduction to Microbial World. The second paper of this FY Microbiology course in semester 1, the paper code is MB112 and the title is Basic Techniques in Microbiology. The third paper it is a practical course and its code is MB113 and the title of the paper is Practical Course based on Theory Paper 1 and Paper 2. So let's start with our syllabus. So within this first semester we are going to discuss about the syllabus of paper 2 and the title of the paper Basic Techniques in Microbiology. Now, within this paper, total 2 credits are there. credit 1 and credit 2. Now we will discuss about the credit 1. So the first chapter within this credit 1 is the units of measurement. Within these units of measurement, we have to discuss different modern SI units. So within this, we are going to compare a value of physical quantity with a certain reference value. Now, the second topic is microscopy. Why microscopy is an essential part of microbiology? Because microorganisms are so small so that we cannot see them with the naked eyes, and therefore we have to make the use of special instrument which we can use to study these microorganisms. So, microscopy it consists of a combination of lenses and that can be used to enlarge the image of microorganism. So that enlarged image can be seen with the naked eye and we can study the structure of these microorganisms in detail. So different types of the microscopy are there. First and most commonly used microscopy is the bright field microscopy. This is also known as the light microscopy as it makes the use of electromagnetic spectrum of light as a source of illumination. So within this we have to discuss the structure of this bright field microscopy, working and the ray diagram of compound light microscope. In addition to that, we have to discuss the concepts of magnification. Magnification means the enlarged image of the object. Numerical aperture, it is related with the lenses or the cone, and resolving power, it is the ability to distinguish between the two closely related points. So in addition to this, we have to discuss the different type of the condensers, their ray diagram and function. What are the condensers? They are their main function is to collect a amount of light rays. So we have to study the ray diagram and study in detail their functions. Eyepieces are the part of microscopy where that can be used to see the enlarged object. Objectives are made up of glass lenses, and their main function is to make the enlarged image of the object. Now we have to discuss the different kinds of the aberrations in the lenses. So aberrations means the defects in the lenses. So different type of the aberrations are there: spherical, chromatic, coma, and the astigmatism. So in case of the coma kind of the defect is there, then the diagram or the enlarged image looks like a comma. In case of the astigmatism, it looks like the enlarged image looks like a star shape. Now we have to discuss, in addition to bright field microscopy, different types of the microscope. So we have to discuss principal working and the ray diagram of phase contrast microscopy. So within this phase contrast microscopy, contrast will be generated so that we can study the structure, intracellular structure of the microorganism. Second type of the microscopy is the fluorescence microscopy. So in case of the fluorescence microscopy, we are making the use of different kind of fluorescence dyes which can give extra energy to this microorganism and they will start to produce the fluorescence. Third type of the microscopy is the electron microscopy, and it mainly divides two types, TEM and the same. TEM stand for transmission electron microscopy, and in the case of same, they can be called as scanning electron microscopy. The source of illumination in electron microscopy is the beam of electrons. So, in case of the 10 transmission electron microscopy, these electron beams they pass through an object, while in case of same, that is scanning electron microscopy, they scan the surface of an object. The next chapter is the staining techniques. Stains can be defined as a molecule which can impart color to an object. So, why the staining techniques are essential in the microbiology? Now, microorganisms are colorless. So, if we study them in detail, we have to impart a color to them. Different type of the stains are there depending on their properties, basic dyes and the acidic dyes. Basic dyes are those dyes which carry a positive charge on them, while acidic dyes are those which carries a negative charge on them. Now we have to discuss the different components of this staining technique. So first one is the fixatives. Fixatives are the molecules which helps in the fixation of this microorganism to the slide. So we have to discuss the properties and the role of fixative, which compound or chemical we can use as a fixative. Now next concept is of the mordant. Mordants they form the insoluble complex so that stain can be retained within the microorganism. Next is decolorizers. Decolorizers they help in removal of color from the microorganism. Then accentuators they increases the affinity of the color towards the microorganisms. Now, staining can be divided into different types. First type of the staining is the simple staining. It is so named because it mainly consists of a single color. Single color can be used to impart color to microorganism. Now simple staining technique can again divided into two types, monochrome staining and the negative staining. In case of the monochrome staining, a single color is used to impart a color to microorganism, and within this monochrome staining mainly basic stains or those stains which carry positive charge on them can be used. In negative staining is also known as the relief staining. So, in case of the negative staining, it will not impart the color to the microorganism, but it will impart color to the background, and therefore that type of the staining is known as the negative staining or the relief staining because it gives relief from the microorganism to get stained. Now, the stains which we used in the negative staining are the acidic in nature. Now, third type is the differential staining. Now, in case of the differential staining, we can differentiate between two organisms. So, to differentiate between the two organisms, we have to make the use of more than one stain. And gram staining is the most commonly used differential staining to differentiate two groups of microorganisms. Gram staining can also be used as a method which can be used for the identification of microorganisms. Next type of the differential staining is the acid-fast staining. In case of the acid-fast staining, we can study the acid-fast character of the microorganism by imparting two colors to them. Now, in addition to that, the special staining techniques can be used to study specific parts of the microorganism. Capsule staining it is a special staining type in which Capsule is a slimy layer which surrounds the microorganism. So by using this negative staining technique, we can impart color to the slimy layer which surrounds the microorganism. Cell wall. Cell wall is a protective layer, and by imparting color, we can study the structure or the nature of the cell wall. Spores. Spores are the state where on the onset of unfavorable environmental condition, the vegetative cells of the microorganism they get converted into the sporulating form. So that form of the microorganism can also be studied by imparting spatial staining techniques to them. Flagella, it is locomotory organ. By using that, the movement of organism can be take place. We can impart color to this flagella. Lipid granules and the metachromatic granules of this microorganism can also be studied by imparting different type of the color to them. The second credit of this BSc microbiology course it includes the units sterilization and the disinfection. So sterilization is the making any object free from microorganism. So different agents are there by using that we can remove the microorganism from the particular object. Now why we need sterilization? So that to make the minimize chances of the contamination. So different physical agents can be used like the heat. You can also make the use of radiations by imparting or exposing different radiation to a particular object. We can make them free from microorganism. It may be a X-ray, gamma ray, electrons, UV light, all these things, types of radiations can be used. The next physical agent is the filtration. By filtering out solution, you can also minimizes the chances of contamination. Contamination means the growth of unwanted microorganisms. In addition to that, different indicators can also be used to check the efficiency of sterilization. That is, we can also make the use of different biological and the chemical indicator to check whether the particular object is properly sterilized or not. Now, next one is the disinfection. It differs from the sterilization in that disinfection means the killing of microorganisms. So, different chemicals are available, and by using that we can carry out the killing of microorganisms. So chemicals agent which can be used for the disinfection, it may include aldehydes, halogen, quaternary ammonium compounds, phenol and the phenolic compounds. In addition to that, we can also make the use of heavy metals, alcohol, dyes, different kind of the detergent and the ethylene oxide to carry out the killing of microorganism or disinfection. Now, what are the characteristics of an ideal disinfectant? That is, it must be effective at the lower concentration. It should be available at a cheaper level. So these are the different characteristics of an ideal disinfectant. Now we have to check the efficiency of disinfectants. So different methods are there to check the effectiveness of the disinfectant. For example, is the Riddle-Walker method. By using this Riddle-Walker method, we can check the efficiency of disinfectant, and for that we can make the use of a standard. So within this check efficiency, we need a particular standard. So in Riddle-Walker method, phenol is used as a or phenol disinfectant can be used as a standard, and by comparing the value of the disinfectant with that standard value of the phenol disinfectant, we can check effectiveness or the efficiency of a disinfectant. These are the references. Thank you.